And big escalation there in state of war, Uttar Pradesh. Even as Akhilesh Yadav geared up to reach Muzaffarnagar, here he alleges that his helicopter was not allowed to fly, not allowed to take off from Delhi, and he blames the BJP for it. SP Chief Akhilesh Yadav cries conspiracy, claiming that the ruling BJP stopped his helicopter in Delhi before taking off to Muzaffarnagar. Akhilesh alleges that he is not being allowed to fly and that the ruling BJP is misusing its power. He's tweeted that this is a sign of weakness as the BJP is set to face defeat. Akhilesh further alleges that the SP will take a historic flight to victory. Hitting back at the SP chief, BJP leader Amit Malviya has now said that this attempt to cry conspiracy only shows nervousness of the SP ahead of UP polls. And this is a bid to divert attention from real issues. Akhilesh, meanwhile, is scheduled to address a gathering at 1 p.m. in Muzaffarnagar, which has been delayed. All right, meanwhile, we're looking at a big show of strength by SP Chief Akhilesh Yadav, who's all set to be meeting RLD Chief Jayant Chaudhary. This comes right amid all the speculation of animosity between the BJP and the RLD, the Jat leaders. Now, in an attempt to woo the Jats of Western Uttar Pradesh, SP Chief Akhilesh Yadav and RLD leader Jayant Chaudhary addressed a joint press conference today in Muzaffarnagar. Akhilesh has promised a political exodus of the BJP in Uttar Pradesh. He's also attacked the BJP for putting in offer there on the table to his ally Jayant Chaudhary. Parties are now pulling out big guns to woo voters in Uttar Pradesh, Western Uttar Pradesh. On Wednesday, the BJP invited Jayant Chaudhary to join the party, to which he's responded by raking up the farmers' deaths issue, saying instead of inviting him, they should have first reached out to 700 farmer families whose homes the BJP have destroyed. BJP has so far managed to amass at least 45% votes from the Jat community in Muzaffarnagar in 2017 and 26% in 2012. SP, on the other hand, got 40% of votes in 2017 and 34% in 2012.
इस बार भारतीय जनता पार्टी का राजनीतिक पलायन होगा और आपने देखा नहीं हमारे बाबा मुख्यमंत्री का कैसा पलायन हुआ है। वो पहले अयोध्या से टिकट मांग रहे थे, मथुरा से टिकट मांग रहे थे, प्रयागराज से टिकट मांग रहे थे। भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने ऐसा उनका पॉलिटिकल पलायन किया है कि उन्हें घर भेज दिया वापस। अरे उनका न्योता कौन स्वीकार कर रहा है? और सोचो हालात कैसे हैं। देखिए उनके हालात कैसे हैं, हालात कैसे उनके, सोचो न्योता देना पड़ रहा है।
Now, we know that parties have waged a war in Western Uttar Pradesh over the Jat community votes. Of course, we're going to break down this face-off for you between the BJP and the RLD, the kind of vote share here. The Jat community, of course, while we see both of them trying to seek and consolidate the Jat community votes itself, Jat community should resolve their differences with the BJP, is what the BJP has said. In fact, choose the BJP and not an outsider like Akhilesh. Jats fought the Mughals, BJP doing the same. In fact, we're looking at now doors opened up for the RLD chief, Jayant Chaudhary. This is what Amit Shah, the Home Minister, has to say about the Jat votes. Now, Jayant Chaudhary there, on the other hand, hitting out at the BJP. He says, we'll never join the Saffron Party. He also further says BJP's tactics to isolate Jats in Uttar Pradesh. And then going on to say BJP delivered nothing for Western UP farmers and polls a fight for farmers' existence. This is what Jayant Chaudhary had to say in retaliation. We're looking at a war of words between the two. Meanwhile, it comes as a major setback for the Congress party right ahead of polls in Uttar Pradesh. Their Ladki Hu Lad Sakti Hu campaign. The Badayu candidate has now resigned from the Congress, claiming that she has been harassed by one of the district presidents, Onkar Singh. In quite a dramatic development here for the Congress in Badayu, its nominee from Sheikhpura constituency, Farha Naeem, has refused to contest elections, alleging indecent remarks and character assassination by the party's district president, Onkar Singh. She's also raised, in fact, right now, while raising her concerns, she now has quit the party. Farah has said that she was impressed earlier with Priyanka Gandhi's Ladki Hu Lad Sakti Hu campaign, but now she is compelled to leave the party due to people like Onkar. She's also said that she would apprise the party high command about the entire situation soon. Meanwhile, Onkar Singh has denied all charges and said all charges are baseless, that he has never insulted Farah Naeem. However, this comes as huge embarrassment, of course, for the Congress party ahead of polls in Uttar Pradesh. A few days ago, the poster girl of Priyanka Gandhi's Ladki Hu Lad Sakti Hu campaign, Priyanka Maurya, resigned from the Congress, joining the BJP after being denied a ticket.
ओमकार सिंह ने इतने अश्लील शब्द, अश्लील टिप्पणियां, टिकट लेने के लिए मुझे एक मुसलमानी महिला कह दिया, मुझे बदायूं से निकलवाने की तरह तरह साजिश की, जबकि वो संगठन के जिला अध्यक्ष थे। लेकिन मैं ओमकार सिंह की छत्रछाया में रहकर चुनाव नहीं लड़ सकती। जब मैं खुद को सुरक्षित नहीं समझती हूँ तो और महिलाओं को सुरक्षा कैसे दे सकती हूँ। प्रियंका गांधी जी के मैं शुक्रगुजार हूँ और शेखपुर जनता की कि सर्वे के आधार पर मैं टिकट लेकर आई, लेकिन मैं चुनाव नहीं लड़ूंगी। चुनाव इसलिए नहीं लड़ूंगी, ओमकार सिंह जी ने मेरा आघात किया है और जहाँ ओमकार सिंह जैसे लोग हैं वहाँ महिला सुरक्षित नहीं है।
आरोप लगाना आसान काम है, लेकिन प्रमाणिकता दें, कुछ प्रमाणिकता दें। भाई मैंने फोन से कहा हो, किसी कोई फोन रिकॉर्ड दें, कुछ भी करें, लेकिन इस तरीके का आरोप लगा के अक्षम होने का, अक्षमता के नाम पर पार्टी को बदनाम करने के लिए मैं घोर निंदा करता हूं, क्योंकि अक्षमता है कि वो फॉर्म भरने तक के लिए एलिजिबल नहीं है, इसलिए उन्होंने ये कदम उठाया है।
All right, of course, now we're going to cut across to the kind of tickets that the Congress party has decided to give, and the share between women and the rest. Of course, the Congress fielding 40% women candidates in Uttar Pradesh and less than 10% in other states. This is the allegation made by AAP as well in Punjab, saying this is hypocritical of the Congress to be promising women tickets, at least 40% women in Uttar Pradesh, but the rest of the states that are poll bound, hardly any women being given preference. Here in Punjab, about 9.2% only have been given tickets. In Manipur, 7.5% have been given tickets. Uttarakhand, about 6.3% have been given tickets. And Goa, 5.6% of women only have been given tickets. So their whole Ladki Hu Lad Sakti Hu campaign, of course, clearly not matching up to the claims. All right, in the meanwhile, we're looking at the Congress in Punjab trying to put up a united face. Rahul Gandhi, while he was flanked with, on one hand, Navjot Singh Sidhu and Charanjit Singh Channi, he's pushing to be looking like a united front right ahead of polls after much of the speculation of infighting within their own party. And now, earlier when they said that they're not going to project a CM face, they've now decided that they're going to name a CM face ahead of polls. And Rahul Gandhi says, whoever the name is, all our leaders are going to support him outrightly.
Flanked by Navjot Singh Sidhu and Charanjit Singh Channi, Rahul Gandhi visited the Golden Temple on Thursday. A picture that perhaps represents the Congress's strength to strike a balance between the two warring Sardars to be the CM face. The Congress projected a united front, first with a mega show of strength in Amritsar and then at a virtual rally in Jalandhar. It was Navjot Singh Sidhu who addressed the elephant in the room. Who will be the top contender for Chief Minister?
ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ टीआरपी ਲਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੜ ਰਹੇ ਅਗਲੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਲੜ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਔਰ ਅਗਲੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਲਈ ਨੀਹਾਂ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਚਿੰਡਦੀ ਉਹ ਨਵਜੋਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਜੇ ਉਫ ਕਰ ਗਿਆ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਨਿਰਣੇ ਲੈਣ ਦੀ ਤਾਕਤ ਦਈਓ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਕੋਈ ਨਿਰਣਾ ਹੋਏ ਬਸ ਦਰਸ਼ਨੀ ਘੋੜਾ ਨਾ ਬਣਾ ਦਿਓ ਬਾਕੀ ਸਭ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਬੋਲੇ ਸੋ ਨਿਹਾਲ
As Channi looked on, Sidhu reiterated that he is not a showpiece. With the two CM candidates sharing the stage with him, Rahul said a CM face will be announced soon.
जल्दी से जल्दी जो आपकी मांग है चीफ मिनिस्टर को डिक्लेयर करने की मांग उसको हम जल्दी से जल्दी पूरा करें.
In an effort to cover up the cracks in Punjab Congress, Rahul reiterated that whoever becomes the CM face between Channi and Sidhu, the other will support the party's pick.
पंजाब में सबसे बड़ा सवाल कांग्रेस पार्टी को पंजाब में कौन लीड करेगा. दोनों ने मुझे कहा जो भी लीड करेगा कसम खा के दूसरा व्यक्ति अपना पूरा दम अपनी पूरी शक्ति उसकी मदद करने में लगा देता.
All is not well in the Congress, but the netas refuse to acknowledge the widening cracks.
ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਬਰਾਤ ਦਾ ਲਾੜਾ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਾ ਆਪਸੀ ਲੜਾਈ ਹੈ. ਸਿੱਧੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਉਰੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਖੜੋ ਜਰਾ. ਆ ਲੋ आओ आशु जी आओ सारे जाने. ਐਵੇਂ ਕੋਈ ਕਹੇ ਕਿ ਕੋਈ ਲੜਾਈ ਹੈ ਕੁਰਬਾਨੀ ਦੇਵਾਂਗਾ ਹਰ ਹਾਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਿਹਤਰੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਅੱਛੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦੇਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਮੂਹਰੇ ਖੜਾਂਗਾ. ਕਾਂਗਰਸ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਚੱਲਾਂਗਾ.
With polls less than a month away, the Congress is faced with a mammoth Punjab challenge. In the clash of the titans, who will Rahul pick? Bureau Report, India Today.
Now in Punjab, Bhagwant Mann has now hit out at his former friend, now political foe, Navjot Singh Sidhu, who is also a comedy show judge. He's also hit out at Akali Dal's Bikram Majithia. Now both are contenders for Amritsar East constituency. In fact, Bhagwant Mann says that he is confident that voters now have an opportunity to kill two birds with one strike. Meanwhile, Akali Dal's Bikram Majithia has filed his nomination from Amritsar East constituency. In fact, he's contesting from another seat, 2 seats, including Majithia. AAP convener, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, meanwhile, has joined in Bhagwant Mann while attacking both Sidhu and Majithia, calling them political elephants who crushed and looted people. Bhagwant Mann has also questioned Congress on its Ladki Hu Lad Sakti Hu campaign, and the party is, of course, in fact, hitting out at the Congress, says that the Congress party is banking on women's votes or giving out seats to women in Uttar Pradesh, while the other states is all an eyewash. Congress, in fact, is not given enough due to women in other poll-bound states, is the allegation coming in from AAP.
सिद्धू साहब ने अपने भतीजे नूं दवा ली, मैडम भट्ठल ने अपने जवाई नूं दवा ली, डॉक्टर अमर सिंह ने अपने बेटे नूं. सो इको घर च 2-2 टिकटां भी ने, रिश्तेदारियां भी ने. नहीं निकल सकती कांग्रेस इस परिवारवाद चों. दोनों आपस च तू मैं करते हैं. वो उन्होंने लंबू कहता है, वो उन्होंने ठोको ताली. सो ये बहुत वधिया मौका है ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਸਰ ਦੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਕੋਲੇ ਇੱਕੋ ਤੀਰ ਨਾਲ ਦੋ ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨੇ ਮਾਰਨਾ. ਦੋਨੋਂ ਚੁੱਪ ਕਰਕੇ ਬਹਿ ਜਾਣਗੇ कि आ देखा लोगों का आ फतवा है जी.
26 साल कांग्रेस की सरकार रही, 19 साल बादल परिवार की सरकार रही. इन दोनों ने, कांग्रेस ने और अकाली दल ने मिलके पंजाब को लूट लिया. इनकी सरकार आती है, वो उनके खिलाफ कोई एक्शन नहीं लेते. उनकी सरकार आती है, ये इनके खिलाफ को दोनों लूटते हैं. आज पंजाब को एक ही जरूरत है कि कट्टर ईमानदार सरकार चाहिए.
Congress is not confused. Rahul Gandhi, I would say, is a wise man, believes that none of them, both of them, are not good enough to be the chief ministers. And forget becoming chief ministers. If they win 20 seats, I think God has been really kind to them, because the last 5 years is only about cheating people of Punjab.